Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Committee of the Whole Council meeting, Tuesday, the 18th of August, 2026 at 9 a.m. in Council Chambers. I would first of all like the Committee of the Whole agenda to be approved, please. Councillor King, Councillor Poderica, all in favor. Thank you. And we need to adopt the minutes of the Committee of the Whole from July the 21st, 2026. Could we have a motion? Thank you. Councillor Chong, Councillor Bennett, all in favor. Thank you. And today we have two delegations. Very happy to have both of them. And the first one, we will welcome the South Okanagan Chamber of Commerce, the Executive Director, Christina Brown. Welcome, Christina. Can you come up to the microphone, please? You're going to have to press the button on there to turn it on.
We're good? Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for having me here today. My name is Christina Brown. I am the Executive Director at the South Okanagan Chamber of Commerce. And really, I just wanted to come today to introduce myself, share the direction that we're building at the Chamber, and speak to what we do for the South Okanagan regional economy as a whole. Today is basically just about starting a conversation. I don't have a formal proposal or budget ask or funding request or anything like that. I just wanted to share where we're going and how I hope we can work together. I think it's important to begin by recognizing how interconnected our communities already are. Thank you. Okanagan Falls, Oliver, and Osoyoos are distinct communities, each with their own identities and priorities, but economically, none operate in isolation. People may live in one community, work in another, and shop throughout. Tourists visit and they do a beach day in one, wine tasting in another, and most importantly, businesses rely on customers, workers, suppliers, services, and investments across municipal boundaries. The Chamber serves that broader community with the majority of our members based in Kelley to Osoyoos. My goal is to make the Chamber more present, connected, and useful throughout the entire South Okanagan, while still listening to and respecting the needs of each individual community. One of the important ways the Chamber supports the regional economy is through our advocacy work. The Chamber is already engaged in advocacy through our provincial and national Chamber networks. We're currently in conversations right now within those networks surrounding interprovincial trade, improved transportation infrastructure, workforce and skilled labor challenges, and issues affecting agriculture, rural businesses, and tourism businesses. We also participate in advocacy partnerships, including the Resort Town Coalition, the Agricultural Town Coalition, and the Thompson Okanagan Regional Caucus of Chambers. These partnerships give us access to much larger conversations. They allow us to work alongside communities that share the same challenges as us, and to bring the experiences of our local businesses forward to provincial and national decision makers. My role within that is to ensure that what the businesses are experiencing here are represented in those conversations. That advocacy work is part of our broader mandate, which we call our ABCs, Advocacy, Benefits, and Connection. So advocacy obviously is listening to the businesses, gathering data and stories, and then progressing shared priorities. The benefits are the direct resources, savings, insurance, and support that we provide to our members. And the connection is about fostering relationships with businesses, communities, and local and regional partners. It is about networking, but it is also about connecting businesses with resources and opportunities that they need. These three areas make up our core foundation, which allow us to support both our membership and the regional economy as a whole. For 2026, I have three main focuses. The first one is growing, engaging, and better supporting our membership. The second one is strengthening our regional voice by participating in those advocacy partnerships and ensuring that our positions are informed by what businesses are actually experiencing here. And third is deepening our relationships with businesses, municipalities, and organizations throughout the South Okanagan. That includes local government, as well as business associations, tourism associations, industry organizations, and more. I strongly believe that each group has a very important role to play, and we each bring different strengths to the table. And this is the focus that I am currently in right now, is building those relationships and deepening those. Which brings me back to why I'm here today. I believe that a strong relationship between the town and the chamber can support a better and stronger local and regional economy. I see many meaningful opportunities for stronger communication, better collaboration, and stronger advocacy work together. And my ask today is simply that the town keep that conversation open, that town staff and elected officials continue engaging with the chamber and help me explore what an effective partnership between the town and the chamber could look like in 2027 and beyond. So thank you so much for your time. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much, Christina. We appreciate your positive outlook on this.
course.
We'll see if council has any questions. Go ahead, Councillor
Thank you,
Kane.
Madam Mayor. Could you just tell me who your president and vice president is this year?
Yeah, our president is Gwen Bruce from Oliver, and we don't really have a vice president. We have a treasurer and a secretary. The treasurer is Russell Cormerford from Osoyoos, and Carrie, oh no, Carrie McNulty, sorry, from Caledon.
Go ahead, Councillor Bennett.
Thank you, Christine. Can you give us a little background of yourself?
Yeah,
Of
absolutely.
what you've done in your position? Thank
For
you.
sure. I actually come from what we call Chamberland. I lived in Port Moody down on the coast, and I was the operations manager of the Tri-Cities Chamber. So that's Port Moody, Coquitlam, and Port Coquitlam. So I am experienced in a chamber that services a broader region while still working closely with 3 distinct municipalities. So I was there for a couple of years. Then I moved to a hospital foundation, worked in nonprofit, and then I moved up to Oliver and connected with the board of directors at the South Okanagan Chamber. Yeah.
Councillor Chung.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah.
We've had multiple conversations already as liaison to the chamber. I think we just we ran out of the runway for this term to get some of our initiatives kind of going. But hopefully, I look forward to working with you in 2027 because we do have some pretty awesome ideas that are brewing. So it's good to see you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councillor Poderica.
I just want to welcome you to the chamber and welcome you to the region. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I had a question. Can you tell me how often you meet? And as I recall, there used to be sort of evenings where one business would sponsor. Wasn't sure whether that was part of the chamber or not now.
Yeah, so our board of directors meets monthly. We're taking a little bit of a summer break right now. So our next meeting will be in September. And yes, we do networking events. That is part of the chamber's mandate. All chambers provide those events to their member businesses as well as non-members. Our first one will be starting back up in September. I haven't really publicized that yet. I'm waiting for the emergency situations and the fires to die down, but that will be held in Oliver later in September in the evening. Yeah, and then once a month we will be hosting more. We have one scheduled for Okanagan Falls, and we're talking and having one scheduled in Osoyoos as well.
Oh, thank you very much. And I know I'm part of the regional district board, and we have a motto, one region working together. So I think that seems to apply to the chamber as well. And I think that has certainly worked well. During the last week, all of the things that we've had to deal with in the South Okanagan, it's only been just over a week, and it feels like it's been a month because
Yeah.
it's been so intense and so busy. So really glad that you came and spoke to us. And please come back anytime if you have anything else that you would like to to give support on. So thank you
Excellent.
very much, Christina.
Thank you so much.
And next we have the Executive Director of Destination Osoyoos, Kelley Glazer. Would you like to come up, please, Kelley? Thank you. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much, Mayor and Council. I have a new name. My name is Mullen now, Kelley Mullen. I'm not going to change too many things though, because I think that would be just very confusing for a lot of people. So my email is still Glazer at Destination Osoyoos.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. So this is sort of very late, but we've had a really crazy year. I think you'd all agree. So I'm actually here to present the 2025 year in review to council. And Amy, help me out here. Do we have the video embedded in this? Oh, sorry, not. It's you. I'm sorry, I've forgotten your name. Gabriel. It's not Amy anymore. All right, so then I guess what we do is get started with that video. This video, just to precursor, some of you have seen it, but what it does is it just gives you an overview of what have we been up to, what have we been doing. So I'll let you watch that and then we'll carry on with the finance.
Destination Osoyoos continue to strengthen our role as the voice for tourism in our community, driving innovative marketing, meaningful partnerships, and exceptional visitor experiences. This year, we focused on building a sustainable four-season destination through strategic campaigns, new industry collaboration, and enhanced research and insight. From showcasing Osoyoos' unique stories of local events to advancing key initiatives like agritourism and regional partnerships, our efforts were guided by one goal: to support our local economy and inspire travelers to discover everything Osoyoos has to offer. 2025 was a year of momentum, creativity, and connection, and together, we're continuing to shape a vibrant future for tourism in Osoyoos. Our 2025 strategy focused on strategic, high-value growth. The data now shows the clear results of that focus. While total unique visitors saw a non-concerning decline of 5.9%, our total number of trips taken increased by over 10%. This is a critical success. It signals a shift from one-time visitation to a more resilient repeat visitor model, with total nights remaining stable at 457,968. This success is most visible in our accommodation sector. Record-breaking numbers with a consistent growth amongst all accommodation metrics of occupancy, average daily rate, and revenue per available room continues to prove the desirable chosen destination of travelers. We not only filled rooms, we grew their value. Our average daily rate, or ADR, grew by 5.5% to $237. This combination drove our key performance metric, revenue per available room, RevPAR, to a remarkable $145, a year-over-year increase of over 21%. So, who is this high-value visitor? Our domestic market remains our foundation. British Columbia represents 84% of our visitors, followed by Alberta at 10%. Our top-performing cities remain consistent, led by Surrey, Vancouver, Kelowna, and Calgary. Digging deeper, our 2025 Prism data confirms our visitors are the loyal and repeat travelers to our community. Our number one visitor profile remains suburban sport, but we saw significant growth in savvy seniors and mature and secure. Savvy seniors and mature and secure are more affluent, established demographics with a higher capacity for travel, and they are proving to be our new core. This year, we've also introduced new traveler segmentation program profiling. This data shows our visitors are outdoor explorers, simplicity lovers, and city trippers. Profiles that align perfectly with the authentic experiences we market. The Osoyoos PACE report continues to provide valuable insights into local booking trends. Thank you to all the accommodations that have submitted their data each month. Your continued participation helps us monitor and respond to changes in visitor demand across the region. Our 2025 impact was also felt on the ground. We focused on strengthening the visitor center's role as a vital community hub for both locals and guests. One exciting achievement for 2025 was the completion and refresh of the new Indigenous space. The exhibit, titled Lands, Legends, People, has updated displays and storytelling elements that provide visitors with a deeper, more engaging introduction to the history, culture, and ongoing presence of the Osoyoos Indian Band and the Okanagan people. Our direct engagement with key visitor segments was a priority. In January, our Snowbird Open House was a major success, welcoming over 100 snowbirds to connect with our team. We also strengthened our local ties. Our second annual Holiday Pajama Drive successfully gathered donations for the Desert Sun Counseling and Resource Center. And we continued our celebrated traditions, hosting the 8th annual Bubbles and Baubles holiday shopping parties, which were once again a resounding success. Our engagement strategy extended to every channel. In 2025, our team's high-touch, high-tech approach led to significant growth in digital outreach, with live chats increasing by 26%, phone calls up 43%, and QR scans for our app nearly doubling with a 91% increase. This digital success supported our core in-person experience, where we welcomed over 12,700 visitors from around the world as of November 1st, 2025. We saw significant growth from key long-haul markets, with a 21% increase in visitors from the USA and a 59% increase in Canadian visitors from outside the local area. The combination of expert service and community engagement directly supports our partners, driving over $95,000 in gross sales for our boutique. Our 2025 marketing strategy was led by high-impact, high-energy television placements in our primary Vancouver and Alberta market. Destination Osoyoos once again hosted Liam Boo at local TV and Mona Mahood and team from CTV Morning Live Vancouver for seasonal interviews and contesting segments. No further criticisms. It's your next local scheme. But these were not just interviews. Each segment was paired with a strategic watch to win contest with thousands of entries to win the amazing prize packages. This approach was a major success. It allowed us to showcase our local partners directly to our key markets and simultaneously capture a massive database of high-intent travelers for future marketing. Our paid strategy allowed for mass market brand awareness and high conversion, direct revenue campaigns that saw stays in our accommodation. The results from this strategy were phenomenal. Our spring campaign with Expedia was a standout success. It generated over $296,000 in direct accommodation revenue, resulting in a 17.5 to 1 return on ad spend. This campaign alone brought in over 1,600 travelers who booked more than 1,400 room nights. This year, we also launched a new strategic summer push into the Ontario market with the Toronto Sun. We supported this expansion by dominating our core market. Our multi-season campaigns with Castanet and Bell Media delivered a combined total of over 3.8 million impressions, ensuring we were top of mind for BC travelers. And we didn't just reach our key Alberta market, we engaged them. Our Calgary Herald campaign far exceeded benchmarks, achieving a click-through rate of over 500% higher than average. Our lifestyle content strategy also paid off, with our sponsored articles in BC Living and Vancouver Magazine generating over 6,000 high-intent page views from readers actively planning their next trip. This was all supported by a comprehensive 4-season plan, with campaigns across Rogers Media, local TV, the Vancouver Sun, and key snowbird publications, ensuring our message was delivered to the right audience at the right time. Our in-house social media channels were a powerhouse for growth in 2025. Across all platforms, our content was viewed over 5.5 million times, and our strategy was tailored for each channel. Facebook was our primary business driver, generating over 4.6 million views. And most critically, driving 77,800 link clicks to our website and stakeholder pages. Our organic features on local businesses like Osoyoos Home Hardware proved our ability to reach tens of thousands of engaged users. Instagram was our brand building engine. We grew our audience by over 2,300 new followers and leveraged key collaborations with media partners like Narcity Canada and travel influencers, which put Osoyoos content in front of tens of thousands of new targeted audiences. On TikTok, we proved our ability to create viral content for our partners. Our videos for local businesses like Barn Owl Eatery and the District Wine Village, or locations such as Spotted Lake, earned over 290,000 views and were shared more than 1,300 times, turning local gems into discoverable, must-visit destinations. Our 2025 public relations strategy focused on high-touch personal engagement with top-tier travel media. Our team successfully hosted over 20 media visits and deployed 2 news releases for key events. The result of this effort was one of our strongest media years to date, generating over 50 pieces of high-profile coverage. This year, the Osoyoos story was not just told. It was celebrated in Canada's most iconic publications, including Chatelaine, Zoomer Magazine, Nouveau, and Vogue. Our marketing reach was amplified by our strategic co-op partnership. We continue to be active members of 4 key Destination BC co-op marketing program groups: the BC Bird Trail, Mountain Biking BC, Cruise the Crow's Nest Highway, and Traveling Out in the Okanagan. We are also thrilled to announce a long-term strategic partnership with the Culinary Tourism Alliance, which will bring the prestigious Taste of Place Summit to the Thompson Okanagan in the spring of 2027, further cementing our region as a world-class food and wine destination. Beyond our own marketing, our 2025 strategy focused on integrating Osoyoos into our partners' larger initiative. An important strategic development this year was the launch of Destination BC's new Iconics destination brand. These new Destination BC Iconics will shape all future global marketing for the province, shifting from promoting individual regions to promoting world-class multi-day experiences. Destination Osoyoos is a key pillar in 2 of these new global brands. First, as a featured stop on the Rainforest to Rockies touring route, and second, as a cornerstone of the Valleys and Vineyards brand, which focuses on our world-class wine, culinary, and lake experiences. This provides an immense opportunity for our community. Our alignment with these iconics ensures that Osoyoos will be at the center of Destination BC's global campaign, impacting how travelers discover and book our region for years to come. A vibrant destination is built on the Muslim community. This year, we were proud to be the key promotional partner for some of our region's most celebrated events. From the Toba Golf Tournament and the return of the Osoyoos Oyster Festival to the Osoyoos Farmers Market and the Beloved Music in the Park series. We used our powerful marketing channels, including our website and newsletters, to ensure these cornerstone events were highly visible and well attended. Our support for these partners is a core part of our mission, proving that a lively, 4-season event calendar is essential for a healthy and thriving local tourism economy. Destination Osoyoos, among many other partners, is proud to have assisted with the development of the Osoyoos Tourism Master Plan that will be released this year. Looking ahead, our 2026 strategy will build on this year's momentum and 2025 goals by focusing on new partnerships and experience development. First, we are expanding our culinary and agritourism footprint by developing the new South Okanagan Farm Trail. This initiative will connect our local farms, producers, and agritourism experiences into one cohesive, marketable experience for visitors. Second, we are targeting the high-value golf market by establishing the South Okanagan BC Golf Marketing Alliance. This partnership will place Osoyoos in front of dedicated golf travelers, driving bookings across our incredible courses. And finally, To continue to grow our shoulder seasons, we're launching a new partnership with Festival Seekers. This will put our key festivals and events in front of a massive engaged audience, driving direct ticket sales and event-based travel. Destination Osoyoos achieved strong growth in 2025, strengthening its role as an economic driver through higher value tourism, record accommodation performance, and a shift toward more loyal repeat visitors. The Visitor Center expanded its community impact with a refreshed Indigenous exhibit, successful events, and rising digital and in-person engagement. Major marketing campaigns, TV features, social media reach, and PR coverage significantly increased visibility and generated direct revenue, supported by regional partnerships and Osoyoos' inclusion in Destination BC's new global iconic brand. Looking ahead, new initiatives such as the South Okanagan Farm Trail, our regional Gulf Marketing Alliance, and expanded event partnerships will continue to grow and diversify the visitor experience.
Well, we're finally done. So, are there any questions about what you saw in the video?
In 2020,
If not, I'm going to.
I always have a question.
Oh, okay, Jim.
First of all, I think it's fantastic when I watch Global and see a commercial from Osoyoos. I think it's fantastic. I just have a question. You seem to use Bell a lot. I was wondering why you don't use TELUS at all, or it's not up there.
TELUS for.
Use Bell.
They don't provide the type of media that we need to use in order to spread the message. Bell is much more than a cell phone and telecommunications organization. It's television, so that's why. Anything else?
I just want to say, Kelly, that I like to watch the game show occasionally, and I don't know where it comes from, but anyway, there was an ad for Osoyoos on there, and I was for Destination Osoyoos. Thank you.
Well, what we're able to do is we're able to buy spots at a discounted rate through a company that has just gone beep right out of my head. But I myself have been watching some random channel at midnight and go, oh, we're on there. So I came back and I said, Kelsey, how did that happen? And so what happens is there's a media company that goes around and just gathers everything that could be out there on all the channels, and we get it for a very discounted rate. So we started doing that right after, I think it was in our first serious fire recovery operation is when we started doing that, and it's worked out really well for us. So now I'm going to tell you about all those things that we did and how much did they cost. So the first page is, of course, just our auditor's report. Omland Heel, we do a note to reader every year. Every third year, we do a full deep dive audit. The Societies Act changed the rules and regulations about having to do a full audit every year. And that saves us a significant amount of money because a full audit is quite an expensive venture. A note to reader is not as expensive, but it is absolutely handled by the auditors and their team. So, basically this letter says everything looks like it should. And if there's no questions, I'll just keep going. So one thing I forgot was glasses. So this is our total revenue for 2025. Our MRDT came in at 1.1, as you can see. And grants, we were successful with a few more grants. Grants are hard to come by, as you probably are well aware. But this year we were able to get some grants, and part of that grant application included an ETSI-BC grant to launch the agritourism program. Our fee for service stays the same. It is inclusive, sorry, is the town of Osoyoos, the RDOS, and Destination BC. A retail and event ticket sales. And then other revenue is just small little things like if an outside organization outside of the Osoyoos catchment area wants to put a brochure in our brochure rack, we do charge them for that. So our total revenue for 2025 was $1.496 million. So we've come a long way, baby, since I first came here 10 years ago. I had my 10-year anniversary this year. I think we had $400,000 when I came. So things have changed. So our expenses, marketing was $722,000. Visitor services is $308,000. Operations $191,000 to a total of $1.22 million.
Kelley, would it be okay if we had a couple of questions? as it
Absolutely.
goes
Sorry, I can't see
No-
people
no
when I wear
problem.
these, so I'm just sort
Councillor
of
Bennett.
both things.
Thanks, Kelly. Regarding the, because we at the MDRT, I notice on here that you have the DBC visitor service and we get a grant of $50,000.
Yeah.
If you're just a visitor center and didn't have the MDRT, has that $50,000 ever changed? Is that kind of? Is
That
close?
hasn't, the two have nothing to do with each other.
I understand that, but. I'm
Yeah,
just
so
wondering.
MRDT, a community without MRDT that has a visitor center would possibly, things have changed. In the old days, they would have gotten money as well. We get quite a bit more money though. And the reason we do, or did, because that's going to change too, is because our visitor center was built by the province to welcome Expo. And they built 5 of them as gateways. And life carried on, and then over time that changed, and then these visitor centers became the well, they always were the property of Destination BC. They sold them off. When I came here, I knew the players at Destination BC, and they asked if we would be interested in moving from the building that we were in, next door that way, to that building, and I said no. And I said no because I said I knew we couldn't afford it. And they said, well, how about if we do this instead? And I said, okay. And they kept our rent where we were at. So for instance, the community of Oliver, they were receiving $12,000 a year towards their visitor center, even before they had MRDT. And that was about the average number that some visitor centers around were getting. What the province has now moved that nobody gets anything. So Oliver has no money. And our 50,000 is going to trickle down. I'm negotiating that. We're sort of a special circumstance. So we're negotiating that number, but it won't be $50,000 in 27. I just don't know what it is yet. Does that answer your question? It doesn't sound like a yes. No, it's not good news.
I'm just saying it's not good news for all the visitor
No.
centers like Oliver and stuff. Because a lot
No.
of people stop in those little centers as well, right? And they're important to those communities, so that's kind of.
Yeah, that's the opinion of the province that because of MRDT, we are all in a position to pay our own bills.
Okay.
And in some communities, they are. Others, they are not.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? So our revenue over our expenses. So the difference being 273,955. That is, with the exception of that one year where I got a little mixed up and reported that we made money when we lost money. We lost around $250,000, and that was in 23, I believe, when the travel ban was put on. And so that number has been very consistent with our growth. And it's lucky because our first quarter, we don't make very much money. As you know, we're not very busy January, February, and March. And our money comes to us 2 months late. So with all being equal, that $250,000 keeps us going until the gravy train starts up again, so to speak. We've been very good at expanding our seasons, so it's working out. The excess funds go into reserve accounts. We have reserve for marketing, especially when we have events, fire events, and we need extra marketing dollars. We also have reserve funds for operations. This is just due diligence. If we ever had a change in our situation, we would still be able to run our organization, or God forbid, wind it down. We also have reserve funds for other smaller projects that we hope to take on in the future years. So that's where that money goes if we don't have to draw upon it. Any questions on that? So the variances, we were up over 24 in MRDT. A lot of that has to do with average rate. As you all know, we don't have more hotel rooms being built. And actually, we have a few less hotel rooms actually on the market. And this year, 25, there seemed to be a great deal of confusion with the short-term rental owners as to what they were doing and what they weren't doing, and a whole bunch of stuff went on the market for sale. But we still managed to move forward. The grant, as I mentioned, we were able to get a grant from ETSI-BC. And then we always apply for the federal grants as well. Plus, we apply for grants from the province for marketing. Some of those co-ops, those are funded by those grants partially. Our fee for service, as I mentioned, never changes, and our retail has grown. Liz Dreyer is in charge of our retail, and she's done a really great job at making our visitor centers still appeal to people who are visiting, but maybe not be coffee cups and magnets and, kind of the tchotchkes that we're used to sometimes. And then, of course, our other revenue, a small number, and it basically is, as I mentioned before, racking fees and admin funds that we would take on to manage grant projects, especially in a collaboration with other communities. Our expense variations, we didn't spend as much money in marketing in 25, and that was based on two key things. One was that Kelsey, our marketing director, was on maternity leave. And so we hired a contractor, which was considerably less expensive than a full-time regular employee. And then all that wonderful data that you saw, that's very, very expensive. And we were able to find some cost savings to the tune of $18,000 with them. And so that made a big difference to our marketing spend because, of course, we budgeted to spend that. But that's what data costs these days. And it's important to have. It's important to make good business decisions with. So we prioritize it, but we also look for ways to save. Are there any questions on that? So then the last page is the actual statement of financial position that you can see on the screen. And I'll ask for any questions or comments on that page.
I did on some of them. It has notes receivable, note 4, or accounts receivable, and then there's a note 5 and a note 6, but we don't have those notes.
That's right, you don't. I'm like,
so,
"Where's the notes?"
That is a little confusing.
Yes, and I apologize for that because, of course, that information is available. And if I may ask for your forgiveness, I will get that sent over to council. Because I at this time, I could not pull that one out of my head.
Probably
It's
not.
a
Oh,
long time
yeah.
ago. I'm already well up into 27.
Yes,
So
I'm sure.
I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to make a note to make sure that we get that note, those notes sent over to you so you know what they actually are referring to.
Thank you.
Okay.
Did anybody else have any question? Go ahead,
I
Councillor
just have one
King.
question. How many hotels here feed you data on their
Mm.
tenants, approximate?
You're talking about our PACE report. Yeah. The PACE report unfortunately isn't strong. But the good news is it's the big hotels that are feeding us. And so they do set the sort of temperature gauge for our community. We're working all the time to try and get other properties to see the value in providing their PACE. For those of you who doesn't really understand what that means, is we want to know, did you book as many rooms in July this year for December, for instance, as you did last year? Because that gives us a pace, that gives us an idea of just what the change in the community is and how we're shifting our seasons. Many of the smaller hotels either don't have the time or don't really understand why they should share this information. The other data that we collect, which is called a STAR report, that report provides average daily rate on a monthly basis. We collect that from 7 hotels. That is something they have to buy into and they look at for themselves for their competitive market. And then we get a lump sum for our community. So we get 7 hotels that are contributing to that, which is a good number. Because they're branded hotels, and brands sort of make that their criteria of something that they must do as a company. It only shows their strength as an organization.
7 hotels, did they get to see each other's numbers?
No, what they get to see is something similar to me because I don't get to see Coast Hotel did this, or nobody gets to see that. What they get to see is what's the average rate across those 7 participating hotels? What's the average occupancy? What's the RevPAR across the 7 properties? As you know, I used to be in the hotel business, and of course your wife did too. You can figure it out. It's not that hard and it's not a secret. It's just a good gauge of who's doing what. You will expect to know where you sit in the pecking range of your competitive set, whether you're in the middle in terms of rate or you're at the top.
Was the average rate higher in 225 than 224?
Yeah.
Quite a bit, percentage-wise?
No, we're creeping up on the average rate around 3 to 5%. It depends. I mean, that used to be a big number back in the olden days. But you know, since I've been here and since so many significant events have taken place, we're seeing 12%, 15%, those kinds of numbers nowadays. But 3 to 5% is what we've been seeing as an increase. I'm not hearing anybody saying that they're plateauing. I think the rate in July is sort of similar. I mean, really, when you're coming somewhere and you're coming in July and you paid, let's just use smaller numbers. If you were paying $100 last July and they want $105 this July, you're probably not even going to notice it. And that's basically how hotel average rates seem to work right across the countryside because they're very high everywhere. There is nowhere that, $300 seems to be the pretty normal price to pay for a hotel room, regardless of where you go.
Councillor Chung.
Thank you. With regards to the MRDT, what proportion of that is OAP, like online access portal?
Oh, it's been all over the map.
Yeah.
This year, in 2025, it was approximately $100,000. When we first started the OAP, we figured around 50,000. And then it performed under that for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. We were pulling in around 30. And then bang, it was 100. I feel that that has a lot to do with the government and their different changes in rules and regulations. People read something that's happening someplace else and they go, oh my God, that's me too. And they either, we lost some short-term rentals in our market, but we also had people that weren't paying that are now paying. So our number seems to be settling in at around $100,000 a year.
Okay, can I ask, and this is a 2026 question, if
Okay.
that's all right.
Yes, of course.
I know that the events of the last couple of weeks have been pretty horrific. And I'm sure that everybody is being a little bit more cautious and maybe changing their minds about things. Can you give us any kind of what's going on right now?
Yeah.
I understand, but I just wondered because I'm sure people are talking.
Yeah. Well, we're monitoring social media very closely. And then of course our visitor center, unfortunately, the numbers have dropped like a stone. So we're not able to really talk to people in the visitor center. And that happened literally the day after the fire became a thing. And so basically it's anecdotal, talking to our hotels. We've been doing call arounds pretty much every other day. So far, things are slightly down, but we do have a number of evacuees in town. And we still have room. And we did do a social media campaign that, was very sensitive to this situation, but also said we are quite capable of handling any evacuees that want to be here, as well as you. So if you want to come, then you should come. Most of our hotels are quite flexible with their cancellation policies. We have a couple that have not been as much, but they are a small number. This isn't anybody's first rodeo here. So we are working with it as best we can. And as I mentioned earlier, the province is working with us as we speak to talk about some sort of a campaign to recover. My experience is that we will not this year, and that we'll have to really jack it up for next year. So we're writing our 2027 budget right now. And right now, we will probably take a relook at quite a few things and say, let's throw some more money at that. Let's do a little more frequency. Let's change some messaging in certain areas, that type of thing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I know that we went through this, in 2023 as well. So not to the same extent maybe, but it
not
was a bit
over.
of a blow, wasn't it? Because the province put the kibosh on hotel rooms here. All right, so obviously you adjusted things after that event. And so does that make it a little easier to look at what should be done this year?
Yes, and that goes back to the reserves that I mentioned. We have a reserve fund, and so the board will meet early in September, and by then I should be able to determine what I need. And I would go to the board and ask for permission to spend money out of the reserve and give them a number. Our reserve is about $150,000. We would not use that. We would probably take 25, maybe 50, and increase our television. Our television campaigns seem to have the best reach when it comes to immediately filling. And then using the corridor, because of course we'll need to use the corridor into the winter months to pull from. So we can pull fairly successfully all the way from Kamloops and that area down for the fall and the winter as well.
Go ahead, Counselor Poderica and then Counselor King.
Thank you, Your Worship, and thank you, Kelly. I just want to thank you and your team. Obviously, that messaging in the last couple of weeks has been very consistent, which is nice to see, not just here, but across the region with the total partners as well. As, I think this one too is, we appreciate our hospitality partners sharing that same messaging. We know, especially in the larger resorts, that keeping that messaging the same, we are still here, we are still open. The experience might be a little bit different right now as we battle the smoke and the fire situation, but we've collectively, I think we're starting to get a better hand of, when we do have evacuees and more opportunity to host evacuees when we need to, and definitely do have that capacity,
Right.
during even our peak season. So I just want to, appreciate the work that's being done there. I know our hospitality partners have been very involved in that. And we talked yesterday, BC Hotel Association just being that go-to point to, where can we accommodate people as close to home, given the challenges that we're facing in the valley. So thank you.
Right. Thank you. We have been getting better at this, is all I can say.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Do you ever lobby, say, the government highways department to try to put a new highway north of here? 'Cause
A new highway.
a new way to get through 97 that gets close and we get no tourists coming down from the
Yeah.
north.
We're just working on a sidewalk to the visitor center. This department is really hard to work with. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah.
The regional district and everybody up and down the valley is working really hard to try and get that going. So there's lots of people involved in that.
Hey, you just might want to join them though.
Oh, trust me, we are. And
sure you are.
as some of you are aware, I am on the board of directors for the TODA. And we already have quite a plan because our CEO was actually evacuated. And her comment was, they've evacuated the wrong person, because now the experience is real, right? And so the elation we all felt when Highway 97 reopened was amazing. But we have been a slave to Highway 97 because of the slide. Also this type of thing. And we all expect some inconveniences, but the concern in the community was there's also fires on 3 and close 2. So close 3 and close 97. Now, where do we go?
And 33 for a while.
And
as well.
33, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty awful to be stuck in here and look and say, where can you go? And
Yeah.
just about everything is closed for a while. So we all
Well,
need to talk.
yeah, according to the NDP government and different officials, they're very interested in hearing all of the things that we have to say, but I've heard that before, so we'll see.
Okay, so
Well,
thank you very much.
much.
Kelly, we appreciate you coming and explaining all of those things. And come back anytime. Except that I know it's a longer drive. You could hitchhike with Myers, I think. He has to come down too. It is. It's very nice as long as the road's open. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. So I'm assuming that we have finished our meeting. And so we are looking for termination. Counselor Chong,